Hi guys, so today is the 4th of August, 2021, and I'm going to be reading on South Africa. I had a request to look at their COVID I'm going to do August through December of this year and see how they look during their August, September months, and then October, November, December. I'll look at that as more like the end of the year. So we're looking towards, from where we're at now to the end of the year for South Africa. And I ask the Most High to please assist me to read accurately and clearly for those that would be affected, for all my readings, just to be accurate and clear as possible. And I ask the Creator to share with us what it is we really need to know that maybe we're not fully respecting or comprehending, where South Africa is concerned or whatever. Just wish to relate that which the Most High, the Creator, the Most Holy, wishes to share. And I ask to be guided so I can relate this information accurately as possible, even though I'm a human being. Okay. So again, I'm going to lay this out in a Celtic cross, and I'm going to be looking at this. Will go from August, September, and October. Some of it, like half of it, and the other half will go for October, November, December. So this right here will be into the first half. From now until the first beginning half of October, what we can expect for South Africa with regards to the pandemic and the variants causing trouble. What covers is searching. This is searching, I feel like, for care. There's also a message definitely that I'm getting about people that live further out who are not, don't come in contact with people as much. I think they will be better off. This to me also has feelings of what looks like quarantine. That's covering them. They may get it pretty soon if it hasn't already been called. All right, because that's what's covering them. It feels to me like a need for quarantine for while they're searching to get a grip on this. The Seven of Cups. It feels like a mess. Like there's more than one variant. And more than one issue at hand about spreading different types, getting people that are perhaps more remote from care, getting them care, or to be cared for, because it feels like people are searching, like they're out looking, trying to find, I think, a way to treat this, especially if they don't have an area that they can go to. I feel like to get Western type treatments for this. I'm getting a sense too of a number of different things that some people will say, oh, but this is going to be really good, this is really good, but there may be no data to back it up. Might just be people taking advantage, or just out of sheer desperation. Let's just see what else we get. It's just a hit that kind of came to me. The Star. There is hope. This is very difficult. This is very challenging. And it does show that, this is people having to dig down deep in their spirit to get through very, very difficult times. I believe they have, and I'm being given, I feel like that South Africa's got a difficult course through now to the end of the year. For a variety of different reasons, there's a need to get more organized in that area, those places, and to get ideas also about how to deal with this going, choose a direction and go with it. It's again, I feel like they're struggling, I think, to know how to deal with it. Because there's a number of different, I think, problems that make getting a grip on this a little tricky there. But it is not without hope, and it will prevail. Things will, goodness, you get through it. This even, to me, almost looks like the ball of COVID. But I feel like getting through it, getting people inoculated, and I feel like information also is critical. There's great change coming, crowned by the Wheel of Fortune. This is because of what has gone on. Again, as I've said before, places will do as well as what their leadership has made available for them, has done for them. If their leadership has failed them, you're going to see just complete crazy, a lack of being able to get hold of, a hold on this pandemonium. But I feel like this is a cycle. This is acknowledging that this is these are cycles of time and cycles of this virus. I still think that with that Seven of Cups, I'm also being shown a degree of flexibility, depending upon, again, what people choose to do. Make sure that you are knowledgeable and share knowledge with other people who may not have access to good information, reliable information, and especially where they can go to receive help or care, in addition to facts of, what people should do and shouldn't do. COVID's very present there. Yep. It shows already it being things being in delay because of COVID, and that they're kind of stuck in a tough situation with it. Yet. Yes. Looking for help, perhaps asking for outside help too. Now, I haven't listened to the news in a few days. I've been just too busy. I have been reading headlines, but I've been too busy with personal stuff and private readings. So haven't been familiar with what's out there right now entirely. The Nine of Cups. In the near future. Well, this could be that they get supplies, and this will greatly benefit or help because it feels like trade. It feels like bigger nations that have a bit more that they could share will definitely be sharing. It feels like it's a nice fat bundle here. I'm not getting this necessarily being the spread of the bug or anything like that right now. I feel like that's actually help. And we do go from the 7 to the 9. So I feel like there is doing better. In the near future, I think they will be getting more supplies so that they can inoculate and treat people. And I would highly advise people to get to these places wherever they may be that you can get inoculated if you haven't, and if you can have inoculation. Some people say they can't because of health, so yeah. Please do it for other people that can't. This to me is the place. This to me is, she represents South Africa. I believe this Queen of Cups. And is in receiving mode with the Queen of Cups as well. So again, a sense of, in the near future, South Africa may be doing a little bit better, because I feel that there is some kind of help that they need coming their way, in the way of medical supplies and perhaps people that can go and help them with train their medical staff help them to, get through that. I'm shown that there's a great loss of life. There is a lot of mourning and grieving and misery that is in the environment for South Africa. So I see there's significant loss of life. Ace of Swords. The truth is the truth. This is not a hoax. This is a real danger, and it will take people down. It will mow them down like blades of grass. It will just cut them. So people need to be aware of that it is real, and that it's dangerous. And they will be getting that understanding if they didn't know before. It's going to become very real to them. But 3 of Cups. This makes me feel like they will end up doing better because they will receive supplies. And they may end up becoming much more careful as a result, because they'll have lost a lot of people. Prior to that. But they will eventually, they have hope, and they will be given the help that they need. And I think they will do much better. And I think people will be, you won't have to ask them twice. They'll, be doing whatever they can to keep the health there better. But I still see a great deal of worry. About another wave, and I think this is the booster. Getting the booster. There might be some worry about getting the booster that I saw in December. Yeah. This is the card of going through difficulties that create a strength within you. A true strength. But it's not had because you've had an easy time. This will offer strength, though, too, I'm getting a sense more. That's definitely probably a booster. Yes, a booster will be beneficial and save families, save the populace. And make them stronger to fight the virus, to not succumb to it. People will need to understand that changing their lives is going to be, again, I got this from America too, there could be good things that will come out of this. I think the remote work, people will be using less gas and petroleum products, driving less. This is better for our environment. We've already gotten to know that. Air's, cleaned up, things look, nature begin to repair itself and heal. I think that we'll take away some very positive things here with that Ace of Cups and that Seven of Pentacles as a result. And perhaps South Africa in and of itself will incorporate more changes in how society lives, basically. Again, I want to reiterate, people working more remote from home, that do better that way. And I think that makes a huge benefit to the environment. I feel that becoming more flexible, where how people are living to accommodate the needs creates some really positive changes in society, that society adapts. I feel like the time spent being more contemplative will bring about greater appreciation and insight. But I do feel like there is definitely not running out there and being all social for a while. And then I feel like after this December, then we can do that with South Africa. Then I see this. Yay, we're through it. You know, we really worked really hard. We used what they said to go and do and get inoculated and kept masked up and got those supplies we needed. We've lost so many people. We take it seriously. And I think by spring as well, they will do better. They will be doing quite well. And I see a booster, and I don't think they'll have to be asked twice to go and do that, because they'll see that people that get the booster do well. There's just facts will show themselves. Okay? So that is what I'm getting for South Africa. And I feel like this is covering not just August through October, but I'll go ahead and I'll throw more and see if we don't get more of the same types or if it shows something very different. But let's now look at South Africa and the months of the last half of October to the end of December. What does it look like for South Africa and the pandemic, these variants? How does that look for South Africa? From the last half of October to the end of the year, around Christmas time, the holidays. How does that look for South Africa? Will there be need for quarantine? What will be going on during the last quarter of the year for South Africa? That would be late October, or mid-October rather, to the end of December. How does South Africa look for the pandemic? What does it need to be aware of? This makes me feel like the other variants are active and deeper. It's active. It will be active. And there will be, with that Ace of Wands, an energy shows that is gaining, spreading, potentially. Let's just see what the other cards are, because maybe it's something positive. Okay. Yeah, this is the feeling that, again, this is what I got when I was looking at America's cards. People seem to think that because they can't see it, or because it doesn't look immediately evident to them that there is a problem, that there is a problem. It's hiding, but it's there. It's in the air. It's not, it's here. And so I think that South Africa will need to remember that, especially after maybe they start doing better, maybe initially after receiving some supplies, that from not to get, again, complacent, to keep up with good sense and being cautious. And it will see them well, very well, through the last, I think, one of the last really powerful waves of globally of this virus around yet. Because crossing is that lack of transparency, that there's something that isn't completely being seen for what it is. People are kind of missing a detail, or they're not looking as deeply. There's something underneath the surface, and I keep getting that too here, that has yet to reveal itself about this virus over this fall in America and autumn. Now, I can't remember if South Africa has the reverse, more of a spring-summer. I kind of think so. But for their October through end of December, the bug there is gone active again. And it will be cutting some people down. I really do believe this is people that do not take it seriously, or very unfortunately, whose leadership does not serve them well, and they cannot get access, may pass. Well, some will pass, for sure. I think it'd be more a miracle that if it didn't happen. But there will be clarity that it is there, you know. Some people will still be trying to, I think, spread this misinformation here with the Seven of Swords. There's this lack of honesty. Yeah, very powerfully in the environment with the Ten of Swords. And that's what's crowning October through the end of December of South Africa. So be very careful, my friends, there. Yes, stay back. Implement a form of quarantine. This shows that in the recent past. In the near future, then, what goes forward for those months is, I think, receiving care with the Knight of Cups. And vaccinations and boosters. Are coming their way for this second flare-up in winter. I believe there's definitely going to be some form of a booster that will be used around the world. Make good choices. This is, look out for each other. Give each other, love and care. Unconditional love. Make good choices. Not just for the short-term happiness, but think long-term. Do I really need to go to that party, or would it be better if I wait when this threat isn't looming, over? Yes, it would definitely be better if you waited. Use good sense, and you know what the good sense is. You know what it is. Even if you don't like it, you know what it is. Right from wrong. And here we go. What you do will catch up to you. So if you use good sense will be, save your bacon. If you're not using good choices, if you're not thinking a bit more, and this is really not rocket science, you're going to have consequences. And unfortunately, there will be people that get consequences of other people who don't take this threat seriously, even if others are asymptomatic. So I'm seeing that we will see the fruits of our efforts, and there is greater realization that will be had also in the South African community about how what you do decides your fate. You know, how what you choose, your will, your awareness. People will become very, very aware, but also being very much facing the consequence of poor or really good choices. And in that case, that means you're in a good way because you've made good choices. Hopes and fears, we get that King of Cups. To me, this again is speaking, maybe could be speaking about medicine or vaccinations and things that people need to deal with this, I feel like, virus. Medications, injections, and care. Okay, final end result card will be the Nine of Pentacles. So I feel like they're going to know that this virant or something is fired up again. Something's fired up with the bug again toward the last quarter of the year. I see that they're going to be recommending that people keep to themselves as much as possible. I feel that there's going to be a booster shot as well for people that folks will be wanting very much and trying to, many of them, I feel like, use good judgment at the end of the year, because those that don't, they'll be seeing what happens, and they're going to know this will take you out. This is bad news. You don't play with it. So they want to, and I think many people will make good choices, though. There will be some that don't, unfortunately. But then I see at the end of the year there will be people in good physical, I think, shape because of a booster and because they've taken it more seriously. Okay? I'll pull a couple extra. This was requiring a long time to recover. This is a long, good rest. This is being on the mend, that it takes people much longer to recover than they realize. And this is a lack of activity and just cocooning oneself and healing. So that Knight of Swords, then you can get back out there, be well, and be active, and do fun things, spontaneous things. Your airway is good with that Knight of Swords. Your air is coming in powerful, and you're not struggling to breathe. Yes, and there is nourishment. You're able to be nourished. People will be on the mend. All right? So that is what I see for South Africa from this month, August, to mid-October, and from mid-October then to the end of December, beginning of the new year. All right? I hope this is helpful. If you appreciate this content, please do make sure you are subscribed. YouTube is bouncing people's subscriptions and eating their comments. So I would appreciate it if you hit me a thumbs up and make sure you're subbed and got your notifications on. Thank you so much. Please be safe. And thank you for asking about South Africa.